From the creators of Jalter, Jailter, and Jerker, we have another addition to the Jeanne family. Jeanne d'Arc Archer, Jarcher for short. She's a 5-star servant introduced in Summer 3 and an exceptionally useful farmer. The meat of her magic is, of course, her noble phantasm. What? Unfortunately, my grasp on French is about as good as Jeanne's, so I'm gonna do us both a favor and just call it her NP. It's an AoE Arts attack. Its overcharge effect gives stars per turn, 10 stars at 100%. This effect stacks as you spam it, so you can build up a fair amount as you loop. But we've been talking about looping an awful lot lately, so hold that thought. Let's check out something weird first. The Servant Cheer is a party attack buff that doubles on good aligned allies. In addition to shoring up her damage, this enables a meme where you can use Jarcher to sweep aside trash mobs, build up star income, and buff another attacker that's better suited for beating down whatever boss you're facing. Uriel against men, Mysterious Heroine Double X and Yang Guifei against Berserkers and Foreigners, Robin if you're a plebeian, and Sitonai against 4 horsemen enemies. If they have crit steroids, all the better. Chloe, Altera the Santa, Bonzi Buddy, Assassin Shiki, Estrella, and Mothman Lelouch come to mind. Next year's Gura Gura event introduces Himiko, a powerful ruler that's buster-oriented, but you can coerce her into a janky Jeanne setup. Her NP gives overcharge, meaning Jeanne dumps out even more stars. Himiko can convert those into nasty buster crits. Some of her buffs even spread to the rest of her team, something that Jeanne can take advantage of with her own pair of buster cards. 2 caveats, the 3 if you forgot that this isn't remotely close to the most effective way to use Jeanne. Firstly, Jeanne is an archer, and archers naturally suck up stars. Without a bit of extra help from absorption buffs or more stars to hit the cap, Jeanne can sabotage your big dick attacker. The second issue is that while you can see her like a reverse Moriarty, Jeanne can't turn her allies good. Naturally, this constrains team building when you go this route. Alright, back to business. Jarcher is an outstanding looper. Her 4-hit Noble Phantasm is great in its own right, but her skills back it up too. There's Enjoying Endless Summer, which gives a 3-turn arts buff and 2-hit invulnerability. This should be high on your leveling list. Because the invuln is hit-based, you can pop it for the arts buff and not lose out on too much value. As if that's not good enough, Jarcher rounds out her kit with Saint of the Shore, Dolphin. Under normal circumstances, it gives 40% charge at level 10 and 20% NP damage. As a big battery, it should be your top priority for skill leveling. A 40% would be a bit obnoxious for a buster or quick servant, but it's more than sufficient for an arts attacker like Jeanne. It makes her looping a lot more consistent, opens up her craft essence options, and even lets her power through a 2-enemy wave. And between her 3 skills, Jeanne hits all 3 major buff categories for a nice bit of multiplicative damage. Saint of the Shore has one other effect. It gives a nice multi-turn crit damage buff, but only on near water type fields. Field mechanics are inconsistent by their nature. If one's around, great. And if not, sucks to suck. On the bright side, Lost Belt 5.1 features a lot of water, like 7.8 out of 10 too much water. Aw shit, that's a spoiler. Hey, I'm sorry guys, I didn't mean to reveal that Lost Belt 5 is actually Hoenn. But if you do find some water, you can make full use out of Jeanne's passive, Independent Action Celebrity. It has a crit buff that's always active, but add a bit of water and she gets 3% free charge every turn. Normally that's an Avenger/Ilya sort of effect, so that's pretty cool. I'll note that Summer 4 brings mysterious alter ego Lambda, who can create a near water field like FGO's own Kyogre. Now the catch is that Pingu Melt is a Lancer, and there's a certain level of clunkiness from running her with an Archer that doesn't justify the benefits of their terrain synergy. Melt wants to be the star of her own show anyway. But returning to those dreaded loops, Jeanne does it with ease. A bit of help from the usual Rogues Gallery and you're set. Tamamo is the old classic between her arts and NP damage buff, and in extended fights, her cooldown reduction pairs well with Jeanne's duo of 5-turn cooldowns. Paracelsus works, ideally in combination with Tammy or a Charger. In scuffed fights you can have him NP the first wave, though his damage is dogshit and it precludes him from running most event CEs, so I'd try to avoid that if possible. Neurobrite is also quite good, and because of Jeanne's 40% battery, you can actually double up on them for the other 60%. And of course the holy grail of art supporters is Castoria. Even one of them will make Jeanne an absolute juggernaut, giving her much needed damage and making her already lenient loops piss easy. And damage is an issue with Jeanne. She has the lowest attack of all 5-star archers and is in fact only around 200 points away from being overtaken by Fujino. Some of the current looping setups can struggle to cleanly kill mid-boss and boss waves at low NP levels, forcing you to run suboptimal CEs or an additional support. The good news is that Jeanne is flexible enough to adopt unusual teams, something that benefits players on the budget end as well. Depending on the fight, you can incorporate Asclepius, Prince of Lan Ling, Caster Gilgamesh, Waver, and even Scotty if you're desperate for extra charge. That's what I ended up doing on my side account. For a final level of flexibility, you can choose between the Mystic codes like Fragment of 2004, Tropical Summer, the Mages Association uniform, and the Chaldea Combat uniform. Again, you have a lot of little alterations you can make to tailor Jeanne for a given fight while still looping. A big perk of being an arts attacker. Moving on to craft essences, you have an absolutely massive variety to choose from. Some give 60% charge, and these will let her NP without input from other servants. Little Halloween Devil comes with NP gain, Imaginary Element is the most accessible and works without being limit broken, and Devilish Bodhisattva gives overcharge for even more star income. And if you want to go higher, Kaleidoscope works of course. For some pre-Castoria setups, a max limit broken copy will let you run 5 event CEs against otherwise annoying nodes. Then we have the usual art suspects: Formal Craft, Royal Icing, and Mark on a Smiling Face. Heavenly Demon Princess works NP damage and arts crits, while another ending gives an arts and general crit buff. The distinction is relevant because Jeanne can actually use her buster cards to crit. Combined with another ending's higher stat cap, this could give you an edge. Painting Summer is fine. It gives the arts NP gain starting charge combo. It has mixed stats, which plays into Jeanne's weakness. It's an alright place to start, but I'd look to upgrade. Some of the following options give starting charge, but I won't be mentioning it from here on out. Golden Sumo has attack, Magical Girl of Sapphire provides NP gain, Holy Knight's Upres NP and crit damage, Kyoto and Jet has NP gain and damage, Sweet Crystal gives Indlone Pierce, Anoni in Human Clothing has crit damage, and Trick or Treatment gives both NP gain and crit damage. Finally, Black Rail is my favorite, and far less risky once Castoria enters the picture. As for command codes, you don't need to worry much. For the most part, you'll be spamming her NP, so face cards are an afterthought in the standard use case. Again, she can use crits, but my recommendation is to save the bulk of your crit codes for more big dick attackers. Da Vinci can help her push for NP damage. If you're gearing up for a particular challenge quest, some interesting picks include Gagyo no Fude for arts crit damage, and Pestle of the Kleshas for both crit damage and defense ignoring properties. Jeanne doesn't have too many tools for pushing through entrenched defenses, and it might give her an edge in that situation. Summer events tend to produce outrageously strong art servants. Summer 1 at Squirturia, Summer 4 is Musashi and Hokusaber, Summer 5 is Kiara, and for Summer 3, that servant is Jeanne. We don't talk about Summer 2. Poor Nito. Jarcher is a top-tier arts attacker and the definitive looping AoE Archer. Her self-sufficient buff suite gives a huge amount of flexibility in team building, letting you choose your own adventure for the most part. But keep in mind that her damage can be constraining, and if you go for her, you'll benefit tremendously from getting multiple copies. I personally would recommend at least NP2. You have a little longer to roll for her, so if you want to go for it, good luck. Thanks for watching, lads. This week I'll be doing a mini wager match on Friday against the casting couch to see what terrible anime we're stuck watching next month. If there's time after that, it'll either be Arknights punishing Grey Raven or both. Twitch.tv/VinoTyson. In general, I stream every weekend, Friday through Sunday at 3 PM Pacific time. That said, like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more, and I'll see you there.